Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Boston Celtics have an issue. I think it's safe to say that we expected the Celtics to play way better than they are right now halfway into the NBA season. As I'm recording this video, the Boston Celtics are 9th in the Eastern Conference standings. Now don't get me wrong, the Eastern Conference isn't the same East as it was when LeBron decided to go to 8 straight finals.
There's no point in trying. LeBron wins the East every year. We should all be tanking. The playoffs are a trap. They're gonna beat us all. It's a trap. We gotta get out of here. Get out. Go tank for the future.
But it's clear the Eastern Conference overall is better than the West for what seems like the first time in decades. But that is no excuse for how poorly the Boston Celtics have been playing this season. That's why today I'm going to tell you how Brad Stevens should fix the Celtics and why they should hire me. Before I jump in, don't forget to like this video if you got the sauce and subscribe if you're a boss. Now, the Celtics problem is obvious and I will let Marcus Smart tell it like it is.
There's only so much I could do without the ball in my hand. I just sit and stand in the corner. We run in plays for our best players. Every team knows that. They do a good job of shutting that down. And, we can't allow that. When they shut that down, we can't keep trying to go to those guys. We gotta, abort that and, find another way to get them the ball in the spots that they need the ball. And like I said, for me, I can only do so much with just standing in the corner.
The Celtics offense is extremely predictable because they have two alpha males, alpha dogs, competing individually. In other words, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can't play together. Listen, Boston fans, I know what you're going to say. They're young, they're still developing, and normally I would agree with you. But they drafted Jaylen Brown in 2016 and Jason Tatum in 2017. It is now 2022. Now, Boston fans, I feel for you. You would think that after 5 years of these two top guys playing together, they would have had something figured out. With Marcus Smart, Al Horford, the Pritchard guy. I love Pritchard. You guys have a squad, but for some reason, you're scratching and clawing for the 9th seed, and I just don't understand it. Actually, I do, and I'm going to explain it to you. You guys can't hold on to fourth quarter leads, and you know why? It's because you're predictable. I watched a couple of weeks ago, they go up against the Bucks, a top finals contender, and they're up 13 points. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are in the game in the fourth quarter, and Giannis is just drinking water on the bench, getting ready to do his Greek freak thing. And then as soon as Giannis goes into the game, single-handedly, against the Celtics, who are supposed to be an amazing defensive team, under Brad Stevens at GM, I know he's not the coach anymore, but Giannis single-handedly takes over the game, and I know he's Giannis' top 3 player. No big deal. That is still the competition you need to go up against in the East, and after you guys smoked that 12-13 point lead because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were playing hot potato, passing the ball back and forth because no one knows what their role is on this team. No one knows who the star is. No one knows who the Kobe is. They both have Mamba mentality, it seems like. Because of that, the Celtics will never get over a certain ceiling. They will never get past the second round. And if they did get past the second round in the last 5 years, I apologize. I don't remember that. They have not made any meaningful playoff runs. And it's because those two do not work together. They're too similar. And that's why Boston, Brad Stevens, if you're listening, you need to make a decision. You have to trade one of them. You need a point guard. Now, personally, if I were Brad Stevens, I'm keeping Jason Tatum. I feel like his ceiling is higher. I'm pretty sure the average Boston Celtics fan would agree with me. Not that Jaylen Brown is a bad player. I just think that Jason Tatum has more Kobe potential than Jaylen Brown. But Jaylen Brown could still be a first or second option on a championship team. He's amazing. No slight on Jaylen Brown. I love him. I love his play style. But Jason Tatum's just going to be better, it seems like, in the future. That's just my gut feeling. Let me know if you disagree in the comments. But I believe this trade market this year is going to be hot. It is going to be spicy.
He's not gonna make it!
Now, you could get a quality player for Jaylen Brown, a stud, and maybe a couple of those first round picks that the Boston Celtics have been storing up for the last century. Now I can already hear the Boston fans now. Well, Hez, what should we do? How should we save our franchise? What do we need to do to make our Mamba, our Jason Tatum, our Kobe, the best he could possibly be? Well, cool your nips. I'm about to tell you, you were on the right track when you got Kemba Walker and you tried to pair him with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But the thing is, Kemba isn't as good as he used to be. He's past his prime. I love Kemba Walker, huge fan, but you were on the right track. What you need to do is take a swing at Sacramento. You see, Sacramento has De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox is playing for a mediocre team right now. They need to just blow it up or make a drastic change, get a better culture in that locker room. Not saying De'Aaron Fox is responsible for everything that's been going on in Sacramento, but Buddy Hield hasn't been happy. Tyrese Halliburton is new. I don't want that loser culture contaminating Tyrese Halliburton and Davion Mitchell. I love them both. You get Jaylen Brown to play with those guys, they will be a defensive nightmare for people they go up against. And then vice versa for the Boston Celtics, you would have a point guard who's able to distribute, get his own shot off, and be a threat on the fast break. I can just imagine De'Aaron Fox running 80 miles an hour and then finding Jason Tatum in the corner, splash city all day, every single day. If you need to trade a second round pick to do Jaylen Brown for De'Aaron Fox, then you got to do it, Boston fans. Not a first rounder unless you have it protected, but that would be my first option.
Of course!
Okay, now say that doesn't work out. It implodes. Sacramento's like, no, De'Aaron Fox is going to be the best point guard in the world one day. Well, you can't get him. That's fine. That's dandy. You make another call. You call up Portland. You ask their GM, what do we need to do to get our hands on Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard? And they're probably going to say no right off the bat because Damian Lillard is the man in Portland. But if Dame is truly unhappy and wants a change of scenery and you can pounce, Jaylen Brown might not be enough, Boston fans. You might have to give up your Mamba. You might have to give up your Jason Tatum. You might have to trade away Deuce. But the thing is, it'll be worth it because the problems they have in Portland is the lack of defense. You put Damian Lillard on a team that can defend around him, and then give him Jaylen Brown right next to him, who can give you a solid 22 to 25 points a game in the right system without Jason Tatum. They would be fierce in the East. They would be top 4 up until Damian Lillard's prime wore off, and then, well, you're going to have to try something new. Hopefully you win a ring by then because you never know. Anything can happen in the NBA, but if you can get Damian Lillard and trade away, if you have to trade away Jason Tatum to do that, then Boston fans, I know you love him, but you might have to leave him.
If you love me, let me go!
Now, Boston fans, you're probably not going to like this last one, but after calling around the league, seeing what you can get for Jaylen Brown, you need to call up the Sixers, you need to trade for Ben Simmons.
That's fine.
What?
I would rather have Jason Tatum and Ben Simmons fail together at this point than Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum because they play too similar. You need a point guard that can distribute well, Ben Simmons. You need a guy who can guard the other team's best player, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is still a stud. He's still a baby LeBron, and if he can just develop a three-pointer, which I know he is capable of, if Brad Stevens can cure those mental illness demons that are plaguing Ben Simmons from anywhere outside the three-point line, I know that that could be a dangerous duo. Look, the league already figured out Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I don't see how they can do much better together. Now, if I'm going to have another losing season, it's going to be with Jason Tatum and Ben Simmons and not Jason Tatum with Jaylen Brown. We've tried that. They're too similar. Love them both. But the thing is, I need to see progress, and sometimes you need to go backward before you can go forward, and that's the case that you would be doing with Ben Simmons. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Should the Celtics stay pat? Should they trade Jaylen Brown? Should they trade Jason Tatum and Deuce? I'd love to hear your opinions down below. Thanks for watching, fam. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay dope. Peace.